Welcome, Matt Taylor here with another mathematics tutorial. Today I'll be doing question 11, multi-choice for 1.5. Question asks, the graph given is best represented by, and it has 5 different equations there with restrictions on A and B. So the first thing I notice about the graph here is that it's positive, so it's not going to be, say, D, because it's got negative x there. I've already ruled out one of them. And it's got A as the x asymptote, and B, negative B actually, as the y asymptote, and so that means that it has to be a take B and it has to be a take A as well. So we can already rule out C because this equation just doesn't make any sense. It's x take B and plus A, so that's just the wrong way around. So we've got C and D eliminated so far. Now let's have a look at A. Now we can see that it looks right. X take A, that moves it across that way, and take B, it moves it down, but with the restriction here, B is less than 0. If B was less than 0, it'd give you take a negative, so double negative plus B. It would be up here somewhere, so that's not right. It's not A, it's not C, it's not D. Now E is not right either because it's plus B and B can only be positive, so it would also be up here. So by process of elimination, it would be B. Looking at B, it's got negative negative X, so it is a positive. Negative A, so it brings the A over here, and negative B, so B goes down. B can be greater than 0 and so can A, so it makes sense for it to be B. Okay, question 12 is same as question 11 but different equation. So it's going to be an x squared graph because of the shape of it, you can see that. And it's also going to be negative, again because of the shape. So we know it's moved up E units and it's moved across C units, whatever they happen to be. And we know that it's an x squared, so it's not going to be A. Immediately you can rule that out. And we know that it's going to be going up E amounts, I should say. So it's not going to be D because that's got subtract E. We also know that it's a negative, so we can get rid of B because it's got a positive x squared in there. So in 40 seconds we've gotten rid of 3 possible options, leaving only C and E left. Now, if you look at E, I know it's not E because it says that E has to be less than 0, and if you plus a negative number, it's going to go down here somewhere. So already, again, by process of elimination, we know it's C. There's a really quick shortcut for question 13. So if you have a normal y equals square root x equation, it goes this way. And if you know the directions of it, this is going back that way, which means it has to have a negative inside the x, inside the square root, I should say, because it's flipping, it's causing a, what do you call it, reflection in the y-axis. That's what it's called. So it's being reflected from this way to that way. So reflection in the y-axis. And there is only one equation there that causes a reflection in the y-axis, and that is A, because it has a take x. All the other ones have positive x, and this one has double negative, so it ends up being down here for that one, and this one is not right either. It's like down here, and those other two are up here. So A is the only one that can make that sort of equation, even without working anything out. Just knowing the shapes, you can work this question out really quickly. Question 14 asks the function y equals 3 times the square root of x plus 2 take 1 is the function y equals the square root of x transformed by being. Now with these questions, I always just go read A, see if it's right, read B, see if it's right, go down like that, just because there's no other real way to do it. So A asks is translated 2 units to the right and 1 unit downwards. Well, it's not going 2 units to the right, and it is going 1 unit down, but no, it's not A. B, dilated by a factor of 3 parallel to the y-axis, translated 2 units left and 1 unit downwards, so x plus 2 will become a negative 2, so it is going to translate 2 units to the left. The take 1 is going to move it 1 unit down, and the 3 will dilate it by a factor of 3 parallel to the y-axis, so it's B, but I'm going to read the other things anyway and say why they're wrong. So C is dilated by a factor of 2 parallel to the y-axis, so that's already dilated by a factor of 2. There's a 3 there, so that's not right. D is dilated by a factor of 3, which is right. Translated 2 units right, which is not right because it's translated to the left. E, dilated by a factor of 3, it's parallel to the y-axis. Translated 1 unit right, so yeah, that's not right either. So it is B. For question 15, it says, for the function of y equals 2 over 5 take 3x plus 1, the graph of y equals 1 on x has been dilated parallel to the y-axis by a factor of a2, b5, c negative 3, d5 on 3, e2 on 3. So I know it's not 5, I know it's not negative 3, I know it's not 5 on 3, so I've eliminated b, c, and d already. So it's between e and a. Now, I thought it was A, but it turns out it's not actually how you work out the dilation factor. It's basically, if you have the X in there, you have to see what it's being multiplied by. So it's being multiplied by 3, and then 2 is being divided by it. So it's basically the same as getting 2, multiplying it by X, and then dividing it by 3. So you're actually dilating it by a factor of 2/3. So you got to make sure when you're asking, when you've got questions like this, you have to make sure you're taking into account the coefficient of x and the number on top of the fraction. So that's how you do question 15. So the answer is E. That will wrap up this video for the multiple choice questions for 1.5. Thanks for watching, and see you in another video.